A mother with her children?
No. Al, I just saw Elvis.
They disposed of it, pulled it out of rotation, and pretended it never happened. One Married with Children episode pushed a line so fine that Fox buried it for years. Now, it is finally available to be viewed. What was this 1/2 hour so incendiary that alarmed sponsors and made a new network nervous? This lost episode didn't disappear. Somebody ensured that it remained hidden. We'll track the moment Married with Children broke the formula, the episode that triggered alarms, how it quietly aired once, why it returns now, and why it still hits hard today. Rule Breaker TV arrives before this show. Primetime family smiled, learned a lesson, and hugged it out before the credits. Then Fox put a different family on the screen, and the spell broke. Married with Children did not attempt to be nice or calming. It came in with a groan, a scowl, and a joke. Al Bundy peddled shoes he despised to individuals he detested. Peg Bundy adored the couch and remote control more than chores and cooking. Kelly and Bud pursued attention and half-effort victories. The environment was not a cozy living room that solved all the issues by minute 21. It was an environment where money was tight, tempers were long, and the only thing that kept the day going was a joke that hurt just enough to make you laugh. The audience heard it loud and clear. This was not a show that would try to pretend life was neat. That initial impression became a calling card. The writers eliminated the soft music and the neat wrap-up. They didn't lecture. They didn't pause to tell everyone what they should feel or what they should do next. They allowed for mean thoughts to infiltrate punchlines. They allowed pride and regret to go hand in hand. They employed silence as a setup and the camera as a smirk. The promise was basic. If a joke is truthful, it's welcome. That truth attracted an audience. Those who felt excluded by slick sitcoms saw themselves reflected here. The show addressed that a job could wear you down, that a marriage can run out of gas, that bills arrive when hope does not. It challenged viewers to laugh at the chaos, and laughing felt like a blessing. No lesson was taught ultimately, but the banter, rhythm, and defeat. That seemed nearer the reality than any over a soft piano speech. Following The Voice were counter opinions. Raw, coarse, and reckless were some criticism labels. Community groups wrote letters. Politicians raised eyebrows. Censors underlined, cut riffs, and cut scenes. Everyone here learned how to read the air. Some types of jokes had to be edited to be broadcast. Some scenes had to be handled cautiously to be broadcast. But the show never lost its edge episode to episode. It aimed at its host, its community, its kids, and its area. It widened the unease so that the laughter would bear the full brunt. That was what fairness was about. The authors did not choose one target and beat it into a pancake. They set the whole map as a target and then ensured that they themselves were included. This way, the show could blurt out the rude truths with no possibility of appearing preachy. This kind of balance, actual hard facts, equally targeted, flowing effortlessly, was the secret to treading the thin line between shock value and keenness. There was another line that lived under the floorboards, uncontroversial to all but anonymous to anyone. Puns are fine. Shoddy boasts? Fine. Sarcasm about money, pride, or age was fine too. The show could pursue love and marriage, so long as the biggest remained cartoon. But whenever a plot concept edged across the boundary of shame and fear, an uncomfy quiet padded around. This quiet was qualitatively distinct. It had nothing to do with taste. It was about risk. It was no longer "is that mean?" but "is that too real?" Dirty joke about a crappy job? Super loud and safe. Dirty joke about losing control? All the nerve endings are on this side of the set. Nerves that get pointed at headlines. Headlines that then point to meetings. Meetings result in vacant ad slots. For an emerging network attempting to build speed, that's not humor. It's dangerous. This was the very ground Married with Children had learned to tread around. It might eliminate the conventions, but there had to be the initial toe planted upon them. It might lie at the altar of self-satire, but not with some accusation that looked towards real, flesh-and-blood individuals nursing real wounds. That unwritten decree influenced drafts, rehearsals, and final cuts. Most times it did. The show would go some welly to push the envelope, create the laugh, and get away scot-free. But one time, the writers crossed into territory that crossed over that moral line. Farce or not, it contained the good stuff, the punches, the jabs, everything that was a Married with Children trademark. But beneath it struck the nerve everyone had agreed not to strike. And this was not just another hot half hour. It was a turning point for a network willing to be edgy without walking into insolvency. The writers believed they'd pulled off another outrageous Bundy caper. The suits recognized something different. I'll See You in Court, the opening appeared like any other Bundy escapade. Al and Peg, trapped in the cycle of a stale marriage, opt to shake things up with a night out of the house. Their intention isn't romantic, it's desperate. They book a seedy roadside motel, the type of joint that feels more like a punchline than an escape. For the Bundys, that's the punchline. Intimacy packaged in dysfunction. But inside the walls of that motel room is a surprise even they couldn't turn into a laugh. Behind their backs, cameras are rolling. Their evening together is taped, indexed, and later found by others. The instant Al and Peg learn about it, the tone changes. The laugh track continues rolling, but the audience now experiences something different, discomfort. Comparatively, the script took the formulaic course established by the show. Humiliation, clumsy romance, filthy jokes, courtroom chaos. Check. But this tale struck deeper than most. It went past a simple slapstick routine of AL's frustration or Peg's closet of shopping. It dabbled in something intimate, something vulnerable. The peculiarity of Bundy's mortification somehow served as an introduction to a communal paranoia shared by millions. The loss of authority over the most private moments of one's existence. The idea of being recorded against one's will was barely discussed on the television airwaves in 1989 prior to the age of social media and viral breaches. To the executives at Fox, that silence was not by accident. It was a fence that no one would dare cross. Married with Children had finally ventured into a territory where network comedy had no map. Scenes in the courtroom simply thinned out. The husband-wife case against the motel was full of innuendo, much testimony, and those jokes that walked between absurdity and embarrassment. The giggles did show, though with wincing, seeing the Bundys struggle to recover their dignity from beneath the mocking laughter of a judicial farce hit too close to home, revealing the hapless victims, thinly wrapped in punchlines. And for the faithful, this hard edge resides in the appeal. It's biting enough to hurt, humorous enough to laugh at, and outrageous enough to recall.